And now, after all the poverty that has been created in the country and all the homelessness from people being kicked out of their houses because of so many immigrants coming into this country, there's been no economic or social impact statement done by any of the political parties, and yet we do see the impact of these policies. And so now Nicola Willis and Christopher Luxon want to bring in the foreign buyers again.
National's tax cuts will cost $14.6 billion over 4 years. It's planning to pay for them with $8.5 billion in savings over 4 years. For example, taking $2 billion from the public service and ditching contractors. It will also collect $6.2 billion in new revenue, for example, collecting $3 billion in a foreign buyer tax. National plans to let foreign buyers buy homes here. They'll need to cost over $2 million and they'll pay a 15% tax, similar to what's done in Sydney and Vancouver. Looking at Trade Me today, $2 million in Auckland isn't sprawling mansion material. Aren't you just putting more and more pressure on the Auckland market?
No, we don't think so. Look, our modelling assumes fewer than 2,000 transactions will occur as a result of this tax.
It's a voodoo plan, it's a fantasy plan, it doesn't add up, and National do have a track record here from the last election.
We'll bring in Jess. Jess, one of the major changes here is lifting the foreign buying ban. Why is that a big move?
Well, for some people, the idea of selling property to overseas buyers doesn't sit comfortably, and Labor will be able to play on that. Labor's also had a crack at National's numbers late this afternoon, saying it just won't bring in as much money as National is saying. And they say that's because of tax treaties that we have with a number of countries. It says there's huge groups of countries that 15% tax just won't apply to.
But it's National's foreign buyer tax that kept coming back into the spotlight.
There is huge demand from people who want to buy expensive luxury homes in New Zealand, and they're going to come back and I'm going to tax them, and I'm going to use that to ensure New Zealanders, the squeezed middle, working people, get to keep more of what they earn. And that is a priority for National.
And so the 2023 general election here in New Zealand is really heated up because the National Party are going to reintroduce their foreign buyers into New Zealand, and they want them to buy $20 billion worth of property a year to raise enough tax. And so they're going to sell out New Zealand, aren't they, which is the old policy of the National government under John Key.
They seem to make you shiver with them. Let's turn it around, babe.
And it's not a matter of political convenience, it's a matter of political principle. We just do not find New Zealand First acceptable. We're ruling doing any sort of deal with Winston Peters and New Zealand First out. Mr Peters will be unacceptable as a minister in a government led by me.
Let's turn it around, babe.
I want to lead a positive aspirational government, and I don't believe a Winston Peters government does that. If Winston Peters holds the balance of power, it will be a Phil Goff-led Labor government. Historically, he's always been sacked by Prime Ministers. And I'm about tomorrow, I'm not about yesterday.
Let's turn it around, babe.
I think partly it reflects that the country doesn't want to see Labor and the Greens in office. And so if it means having to deal with New Zealand First, a lot of our supporters, I think, would prefer to see that situation.
Let's turn it around, babe. 'Cause it's getting us down.
And so some people are beginning to wake up to the fact that when we sell our exports to the Communist Chinese government, that not only do they want to buy our exports, but also they want to buy our export industries. And as the saying goes, when you kill the goose that lays the golden eggs, then sooner or later you're not going to have any more golden eggs. And the golden eggs in New Zealand are laid by our export industries. Yet we're selling off our dairy and also our meat industry, along with the fibre and forestry industry, as well as our horticulture and viticulture and even the honey industry. And yet our manufacturers are being undermined by the Chinese manufacturers with their slave labour